Hello, young students. In this video, we're going to embark on an exciting adventure into the microscopic world of cells. Every living thing, whether it's a tiny bacterium or a massive tree, is made up of cells. Let's explore how scientists first discovered them, what cells do, and the remarkable structures within them that allow them to function. Our journey begins in 1665 with an English scientist named Robert Hooke. Hooke used a basic microscope to examine slices of cork. When he looked through the lens, he saw tiny, box-like structures that reminded him of the small rooms in a monastery, which were called cells. This discovery was groundbreaking because it opened up the idea that living things are composed of these tiny units called cells. Around the same time, another scientist named Anton van Leeuwenhoek was making significant progress in microscopy. With his more advanced microscopes, he observed tiny organisms, including bacteria, for the first time. His work was so influential that he's often referred to as the father of microbiology. Thanks to his discoveries, we realized that there is a whole world of life that is invisible to the naked eye. Moving forward to the 19th century, two German scientists, Matthias Schleiden and Theodor Schwann, developed what we now call the cell theory. They proposed three key ideas. First, that all living organisms are made up of one or more cells. Second, that the cell is the basic unit of life. And third, that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. This theory became a fundamental principle in biology and helped us understand the continuity of life. Rudolf Virchow, another prominent scientist in 1855, added to this theory by emphasizing that new cells are produced from existing ones. His famous phrase, omnis cellula e cellula, meaning all cells come from cells, reinforced the idea that life begets life, further solidifying our understanding of cell biology. Now let's talk about the characteristics of cells. Imagine cells as the smallest building blocks of life. Despite being small, cells can vary greatly in shape and size depending on their function. For example, muscle cells are long and flexible, allowing for movement, while nerve cells have long extensions that help transmit signals throughout the body. Interestingly, some organisms like bacteria and amoebas are made up of just one cell. These unicellular organisms can perform all the necessary functions for life within that single cell. On the other hand, multicellular organisms like humans have specialized cells that work together. For example, red blood cells are responsible for carrying oxygen, while white blood cells fight off infections. Inside every cell, there are specialized structures called organelles, each with a unique role to play. Let's begin with the plasma membrane, which is like a protective barrier that surrounds the cell. It controls what goes in and out of the cell, ensuring that essential nutrients enter while keeping harmful substances out. This membrane is made up of two layers of lipids, with proteins scattered throughout, which help maintain the cell's structure and function. In plant cells, there's an additional outer layer called the cell wall. The cell wall provides extra support and protection, much like the walls of a building. Made primarily of cellulose in plants, it helps maintain the shape of the cell and prevents it from taking in too much water. Now, let's dive into the control center of the cell, the nucleus. This is where the cell's genetic information, or DNA, is stored. The nucleus is surrounded by a double membrane with tiny pores that allow communication with the rest of the cell. Inside, you'll find the nucleolus, where ribosomes, the protein factories of the cell, are made. The nucleus is crucial because it controls all of the cell's activities, from growth to reproduction. Cells can be categorized into two main types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells, like bacteria, are simpler and lack a defined nucleus. Eukaryotic cells found in plants and animals are more complex and have a well-defined nucleus. Another essential part of the cell is the cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like substance that fills the cell. It's where many of the cell's vital chemical reactions take place, and it also helps support the organelles, keeping them in place and allowing them to move when needed. Within the cytoplasm, you'll find the endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, which is like a transportation network for the cell. There are two types of ER, rough ER, which has ribosomes attached and helps produce proteins, and smooth ER, which is involved in lipid production and detoxification of harmful substances. The Golgi apparatus works closely with the ER, modifying, sorting, and packaging proteins and lipids for transport. Lysosomes act like the cell's cleanup crew, breaking down waste and recycling materials. Mitochondria, often called the powerhouses of the cell, generate energy by converting nutrients into ATP, which fuels the cell's activities. In plant cells, plastids such as chloroplasts capture sunlight and convert it into energy through photosynthesis, while other plastids store pigments and starch. Lastly, vacuoles are storage compartments within the cell, especially prominent in plant cells, where they store water and help maintain the cell's rigidity. So, as you can see, cells are truly remarkable. From the plasma membrane that protects them to the many organelles that perform essential functions, cells are the tiny engines that drive all living organisms. Now here's a question for you. What organelles store fluids in plant cells? Please share your answer in the comments. The complete curriculum for 9 is available on our channel. Check out all the links provided in the description below. Please make sure to like, share, and comment for more such videos.